Today I want to show you how you can create and deploy an Express.js application using Docker. Let's get started with creating our Express.js application. So we will initialize a new project with npm. I type in npm init. And then I just go through all of these defaults. I just hit return a couple of times. Tuck, 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 tuck. And finally, I will confirm yes. But of course, you change these settings for your project. If you want a different license or a different name, you can change all of that in the package.json file. But for this little demo, I will run with the defaults right here. Next, I'm going to install Express. So I will type in npm install express -- save. And this is installing Express, and as you can see, it's only taking 2 seconds or so. So what I will do is I will add another script and call this one start, and this will do node index.js. So this will be my entry point for the application. And we do need to create that file. So I create a new file in the root directory of the project and name it index.js. From the Express website, I will copy this little example right here, and I will paste it in my index.js file. All right, let's spin up the application and see if it's running. I will type npm run start in order to execute the start script that we defined right here in the package.json file, which is basically the same thing as typing node index.js. So our example app is listening on port 3000. So let's quickly check if it's working. Go to localhost 3000. And as you can see, hello world, we're getting a response, and we are just hitting this app.get endpoint, which is just sending the text hello world back. Next up, let's wrap our little application in Docker. So I will create a new file in the root directory of the project and name this one Docker file. Every Docker file starts from a base image, and we will use the from instruction and define node 22.6.0-alpine as our base image. And you can use a different node version. If you type in node-v, you can see which node version is installed on your machine. And it's probably a good idea to use the same node version in your Docker file as the one you are developing with, so that there are no unsurprised conflicts coming up. Right, let's start with a work directory, and I will name it /app. Then I will copy my package.json file into the work directory, and also my package log.json file. I will install the dependencies running npm install. Then I will copy the rest of these files right here into my Docker image. And then I can already start my application using npm run start. Okay, let's quickly check if this is working. So I will run docker build, then I tag it express demo. I write dot and hit enter in order to build this Docker image. So this is probably going to take a minute or two. So let's quickly wait for it to finish. There we go. It already finished. Let's see if the application is running, and I will type in docker run. Then I will map the port 3000 of our container to 3000 on our host machine. And then I type the name of the image, which was Express demo, and I will hit enter. And as you can see, example app is listening on port 3000. So let's quickly go back to our browser, refresh the page. As you can see, it is still running. And if I tear down the container, if I exit it and refresh the page now, we will get an error because the app is not running anymore. So it's looking good. Our Docker file is working. One thing that we can do is we will add a .docker ignore in the root directory of our project. And inside of this Docker ignore, we can prevent files from being copied into the Docker image. So for example, I don't want this node modules folder in my Docker image. So I just say ignore node modules. And when we will do this copy instruction right here, we are not copying the node modules because we already installed them into the image right in this step, and we don't need to copy them again into the container. So that's what this Docker ignore file is useful for. So let's initialize a repository real quick. I will type in git init. And then I will create a new file and name it .gitignore. And gitignore and Docker ignore, they're basically pretty similar. We will define everything that shouldn't be committed to our repository. So in this case, I will add node modules right here as well. And as you can see, from the changes that we have, our node modules will not be committed to the repository. So let's quickly create a new commit. I will name this one initial commit. I will stage all the changes and I will commit them, save all and commit. And I quickly want to rename the branch to main, which is a little bit more up to date. So let's type git branch-m, say main. There we go. The branch has been renamed. Then I will head over to GitHub. I will create a new repository. Name this one Express.demo. Create the repository. And down here, I will copy this little snippet in order to sync my content that I have in my local repository with the remote repository. So I will hit enter. And if I refresh the page in GitHub, you can see the content is in the repository. So how can we deploy this little application? I will go over to sliplane.io. And I can sign in with my GitHub account. So Sliplane is a hosting provider that is specialized on Docker containers, and it is perfect for our little Express demo. So let's sign in with the GitHub account. I will create a new project, name this one Express demo, and I will jump into the project and I click on deploy service. So first of all, we need to create a server where our application is running on. And I just go with the default server and I will name it Express demo. If you first sign up, you will get a free demo server, which you can use for 2 days. And when the server gets deleted, you can create another one and also use it for 2 days. So let's choose the demo server. And then I click on repository as the deploy source. I will choose Express demo. And as you can see, our repository is not yet showing up because we first need to grant Sliplane access to the repository. So let's click on configure repository access, choose our GitHub account. Then I quickly need to find my authenticator app. And I will scroll down right here to repository access, and I will look for our Express demo. There we go. I will click save. And then I can refresh the list and find the Express demo in the list, select the Express demo. And then I will just leave the default settings. I want to keep my service public. I want to deploy the main branch. No environment variables, no volumes. So I just hit deploy and wait for the deploy to start. Okay, our app deploy is in progress. I will click on the app and quickly check the logs to see what's going on. No logs found, because it will take a few seconds for logs to show up right here. I will refresh the page and there we go. The logs are streaming in, and you can see all of the steps from our Docker file. Docker build is executed, and at the end of it, there is example app listening on port 3000. So that's a good sign. And if we switch back to the settings, we can see the deploy is live and the application is running. And on the right side, you can see this the domain section. And if I click on the domain, yay, our application is running and you can access it via your sliplane.app domain. So that's basically it. I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe.